Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Tuesday Acres here. Out in the wood yard today. I've been out here for the past 2 days. About halfway through, maybe a little more than halfway through that huge pile of logs that I showed a couple weeks ago. I decided to rent a wood processor. It's 720 bucks, at least up here in northern Michigan. 720 bucks for 16 hours of usage. I picked it up on a Thursday afternoon, worked Friday, Saturday, now it's Sunday. About 10 in the morning, I've put about 4 hours a day on the machine itself, and we're a little more than halfway through the pile, I think, ballpark. And I still got probably another 6, 7, 8 face cord sitting in log form from stuff we pulled off our own property. So I'm going to take you through how I use this thing. I definitely wouldn't recommend leaving your vehicle attached to the unit, but I have to move this thing around so much. I've probably repositioned the unit 8 times already, putting different piles in different places. I like to pile the wood as close to where we're going to stack it as I can. I'm using pallets on the ground over here, and you'll get a better shot at that throughout the day. But using pallets, we've probably got at least 30 face put up right now. Probably a little bit more, and I'm cutting my logs to about 20-inch length. Now our logs are about 100 inches in length, so that's approximately 20 inches, 5 cuts or 5 pieces per log. So you can set all of that up on the machine, but you still have to actually adjust where it makes the cut. It's not too bad. We end up with some longer pieces, 22s, and we end up with some 18s, but generally speaking, they're all pretty close to 20 inches. And this is mostly for the boiler. We will be using some of it inside in the wood stove, and my uncle is going to be taking some of it next door for his wood stoves. This is almost entirely maple, sugar maple, hard maple, same. We've got a little bit of beech and elm mixed in, a little bit of cherry here and there. Same thing with the stuff we collected off our own property. I'm using the tractor with the forks. The last time I did this, I used the grapple, and it was kind of a pain in the butt, and the grapple can only pick up so much at one time. The forks can actually pick up more at one time. So I'll show you that process as well. It's kind of cumbersome, and the way we had our pile stacked, just because of the location, stacked really high. My tractor's a 60 horse tractor, pretty strong, and even with that, I've got, I don't know, 8+ foot high stack of logs that can come rolling at you, and you got to be careful. I'm also extra careful when I load up the rack on the processor, with the truck being right there. It wouldn't be very hard for one log to slide right off, so I'm super careful with that. And the conveyor, the feed conveyor for the wood processor could actually push the log right off the back if you're not careful with that. So, and again, I'll show you all that stuff. It goes pretty quick though. I think they say you can get a couple cord an hour, and that's full cord, so that's 3 face, 6 face, somewhere in that ballpark. I'm planning on having over 20 logger cord, so 20 full cord processed up. That's 60 face cord in less than 16 hours. So you do the math, and honestly, we're right about there right now. We've got about 8 hours done. We've got about 8 hours on the machine. We're a little more than halfway through the pile, so it should work out to be just about right. But with that said, let's jump right into it, and I'll show you the process. Yep, I like that. It is muddy out here. It's almost like a spring day instead of December 16th. We already had 1.5 feet of snow, almost all gone. You can still see the snow here and there in the shade, but crazy, like 40 degrees. Got the kitty on the pile. Got the kitty right there. So this part here kind of sucks, and it's kind of dangerous too. Get this pile rolling down, it's like a bunch of pickup sticks, you know. I try to keep it as straight as I can, and it doesn't. This is actually the worst it's been. I could just get the tractor over here. That's probably what I'll do. Yeah, just to straighten these out a little bit. Kind of want them even so that when you're loading them on the processor rack, that you don't have too many far left or right sticking out. Of course, when the guy come to drop this pile off, I wanted it up there in the wood yard. He's like, I can't make it through that dirt. Which he's probably right, probably sink. That's a good load right there, holy cow. Now I do have a couple sticking out either side. I'm gonna push them against the log pile on this side. Then when I go up my trail here, I got a tree up there. I've been pushing like those couple stragglers there. I push those over a little bit. Like that. Evens it out on the right. Then I got a couple on the left here that I need to take care of. All right, up to the processor. Yeah, this is that pickup stick style. We got a couple smaller ones underneath there, screwing up the whole program. This is a good time to get those taken care of. Okay, that looks good. Probably get a couple more on there now. And just so you know, this is not the norm. I've not had to spend near this amount of time down here. There we go. Okay. our progress so far. We got 3 rows of pallets going. All right, here we are, day 4 of processing firewood. Probably got about 80% of the pile done. I have 4 hours left on the machine to use it, and I've only got 6 hours to do that. I gotta return it this afternoon. Plugged the tractor in at 6 a.m. this morning so it can get warmed up, block heater. And you see it's snowing out. So, oh geez, tripped over a pile of sawdust. I gotta set this stuff down. Bringing some gas and some bar oil out here. This thing takes regular old bar oil, and we'll get it topped off, or at least this 1 gallon. So they expect you to return it with a full tank of gas. I don't remember mentioning anything about the bar oil though. I've used 3 chains so far, swapped the bar out once. I actually did that because I thought the other bar was clogged with sawdust, and I didn't want to stop to clean out the bar. But when you rent the unit, you get, I think, a total of 4, maybe 5 chains. He gave me 3 bars total, which probably isn't necessary, but it's like a just in case kind of thing. It'd be pretty easy to bend one of these bars. There's nothing stopping the conveyor of pushing a log into the chute with the bar down. It's just one of those things you got to keep your eyes open for. This is not diesel, this is gasoline. If you haven't gotten one before, these spout kits, you can get them at Tractor Supply or wherever. I like to get the ones with the wide mouth on them. Man, they empty so much faster. All right, that's good. I usually take a quick look over here. Crud gets caught behind the ram cylinder, or the splitting ram cylinder, but it looks good today. A bunch of this crap down here. If I had a little bit more time, we would have collected a lot of the scraps out of here as kindling that we use inside. But I still have quite a bit left over from last year, actually 2 years ago now. I don't need kindling for the boiler, but it's nice to have for the inside. All right, so these are our stacks so far. We've got basically 6 rows. That's the short one over there, and 2 long ones. I'd say right now they're probably close to 60 feet long, double stacked, air gap in between, all on pallets. And I'll do the math once this is all done. I'll tell you what, sure does make a lot of sawdust. And that's probably like the 8th stack like that. Last time we rented one, we bagged a bunch of that up and used it in our chicken coop. But this time it's dry. We probably got like 15 or 20 bags of that, like those 50-pound feed sacks. Filled those up. Lasted us all winter for a chicken coop and for our rabbits. Oh, yeah, we gotta get this. Of course it fell over. There he is. There's the supervisor. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. talking about earlier. Just a little guy, but I can use it, bump into it sideways and straighten things out a little bit. Back. Perfect. So that's it. I'm not going to do any more video of this portion of it. We'll do a wrap up when we're done. Yeah, we finished it up. At least the pulpwood that was dropped off. And I'll tell you what, driving that thing back with the roads the way they are right now, holy cow. I was in the Centurion going maybe 30 to 40 on average. The most I got up to was 45, and that was on actual pavement. Kept it in four-wheel drive the entire trip. That was freaky. All right, everybody, so here it is, Thursday. Took us a couple days to kind of settle, relax, get some other things taken care of, get working in the barn. Anyway, you can see behind me, this is a lot of firewood. I did the measurements. I measure by cubic feet. So you take a standard cord, which is 4 foot high, 4 foot wide, and 8 feet long. That is 128 cubic feet. All right, so I measured out using 20 inch as my standard width. I come up with like 59 face cord. So right at just shy of 20 logger cord, like 19.5 or 19.6 logger. So I'm sitting pretty close to 80 cord out here in the wood yard. I thought it was a little bit more than that. I've got 40 over by the boiler itself, which I just cranked up yesterday, and I'll tell you, it's really nice in the barn now to finally have the in-floor heat going. Real quick, you know, is it worth it? The 20 pulp cord or the 20 full logger cord that was dropped off cost like $2,300. The processor costs $720, not including bar oil, gasoline, transportation to and from wherever you're getting it from. So call it $800 easy to rent the machine. So now we're at $3,100. So just to heat my house alone on LP, I'm looking at probably $400 a month, $300 to $400 a month. If I use, and that's using the forced air, if I use the LP boiler in the house to get the same heat that I do out of my wood boiler, for again, just the house, I'm at like $700 a month, if not a little bit more. So at least 4 months, if not 6 months, we'll say 4 months. 4 times 7 is 28, that's $2,800, and my barn isn't even getting heated yet. So now add the barn in, that's another 2,400 square feet. If I were to use propane again, I've been using a kerosene-powered torpedo heater, 140,000 BTU, just to bring the temp up to around 50 to 55 degrees in the barn. And that stuff's $5 a gallon. I go through at least a gallon an hour. I've been putting maybe 5 to 10 gallons in it per week over the past month or so. And, you know, so that would add up to be quite a bit too. So is it worth it? For me, yes, absolutely. It took us 4 days to process all of this. It's going to take us another 3 or 4 days to process this, just because single splitter, using a chainsaw, that kind of stuff. But you know, so your time, your back, that's a big one. Both of our bodies are still sore right now. My uncle, he's sore, and it's a lot of work, you know. But like they say, firewood heats you up like 4 different ways or something like that. You know, cutting it down, bringing it in, stacking it, loading it, and cleaning out the ash, or I don't know, something like that. It does take more effort for sure and time. But that's something, it's good for you, you know. It keeps you moving, keeps your body moving. I've been saying for a couple decades now, you know, as soon as you stop moving, you're gonna die. You know, it's when you give up and just become a couch potato that it's over. So that's gonna wrap it up for this season. This was our last big project for the year. I've got other little things, obviously, to keep me busy throughout the winter, but this was my last big headache. I really wanted to get this stuff split up and stacked so that it can be dry and ready for 24-25 burning season. And I just started the boiler yesterday, like I said, so I'm more than 5 weeks later in the season than I was last year. Last year I went through around 55 face cord, 50 to 55 face cord, and I was a little worried because I only have about 45 stacked next to the boiler right now. Last year I started the boiler up on November 11th, shut it down on April 9th. So almost 5 months to the day of operation. This year, I'm already 5 weeks later into the season and I haven't even started it yet. Well, just started it. So I should go through at least 20% less firewood. And honestly, they're calling for a much more mild winter. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I am much more comfortable now, especially knowing this stuff is here, because the boiler can burn this. It's not ideal by any means. You know, you still want it to be more dry. The drier it is, the less it has to cook moisture out of it before it can actually burn, right? So I get into arguments with people about this, you know, oh, boilers, you can burn wet wood. Well, sure you can, but it's still less efficient. You know, you still got to get the water out of the wood before the wood can actually burn, all right? So don't let anybody fight you on that one. That's just pure physics and math right there. It doesn't work. So anyway, hey everybody, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. Appreciate everybody watching this year. Looking forward to next year. If you got any comments or suggestions for future videos or on past videos, please throw it down there. I reply to everybody. Again, thanks for watching, everybody. This is Tuesday signing out for 2023.